I should have brought a bigger cutting board, but you know.
Your video guy said he would bring one.
I know, my video guy said he would bring a cutting board, a bigger one, and that way I didn't have to make this giant corn mess, but it didn't happen. So thanks, Jordan. Hi, I'm Spencer. I cook, develop recipes, and also grow 45 varieties of tomatoes, like a normal person. I love how food brings people together, and we want to get you in the kitchen, build your confidence with cooking, and just get you more in touch with food and where it comes from. Today we're making stone fruit and tomato salad in 2 different ways. So let's get started. It's the end of summer right now. Tomatoes are at their peak. They are so sweet and delicious. And stone fruit are also at their peak and just, they're so sweet and juicy. And if you don't know, stone fruit is a family of fruit that includes apricots and cherries and peaches and nectarines and plums and aprons and pluots and all those different things. And I think that like having the stone fruit and tomatoes combined together in a salad, it just brings this like nice, sweet, savory, juicy, just tasty deliciousness, which is just perfect for any barbecue or even like lunch or dinner that you're making. So the first one we're making is a summer nectarine, corn, and tomato salad with hazelnuts. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our nectarines sliced and ready, and then we're going to take some corn and hazelnuts and cherry tomatoes, toss them together with a simple vinaigrette, plate them on top, and then top with some herbs. It's a really simple and easy salad. Let's get started with the nectarines. So I'm cutting them around, and there's a natural crease here. And it depends if your nectarine is a freestone variety, which means that, you know, if you twist it, the fruit will separate from the stone or the seed really easily. Or it could be a cling variety, which means it'll cling and it won't separate as well. Either way, you wanna get nice wedges, so you can either do it this way, or you can just simply go around the pit and you cut it kind of like a mango. You cut around the seed, and then you cut off the 2 cheeks, and then you just cut these guys into wedges. I'd probably do it this way more, it's a little easier. I'm using nectarines today, but you guys can use peaches, are also really tasty. I made it with like some pluots, that was also really delicious as well. So once our nectarines are all cut, we're just gonna put them on a plate and arrange them nicely. It's a good idea to taste your fruit too, that way you know how sweet and tart it is. So you wanna pick corn, I got this from the farmer's market today. You want it to be very full, and the tassels are still intact. They're not like moldy or gross, and it's not slimy. And I don't know, I just kind of shuck the corn like that, rip off the bottom. And then what I like to do is I take a towel, this towel's like a little bit damp, and you kind of like grip the corn with a towel, and that removes all the silk. We're using this corn raw in this salad. I really like it because it's really crunchy. It has a nice like milkiness to it and sweetness. That fresh corn has that nice pop. I don't know, I really like raw corn in salads. I think it's really delicious. So to take the corn off the cob, there's people will do this in a lot of different ways. I lay it flat on the board, and I just take my knife, make sure it's really sharp, and I just cut like this, just to remove all the corn. It's just easy for me, and the corn doesn't go flying everywhere. Some people will stand it on the end and like put another tray and cut another tray. I don't know, this works for me, so this is why I do it. And then you wanna make sure you take the back of the knife and you scrape the corn, and you get all the nice inside, because that part's like really, really, really sweet. And try not to get corn everywhere, but you know what? Now, tomatoes. These are nice little cherry tomatoes. I washed them, and then I'm taking all the little stems off. So now we're just gonna slice these guys in half. You wanna do it with a really sharp knife because tomato skins can sometimes be really hard to cut through. If you don't have a really sharp knife, I suggest using a serrated knife, and that will also work. cherry tomatoes with the corn. And then hazelnuts. I roasted these hazelnuts. They're nice and flavorful. To roast them, all you do is you take your hazelnuts, put them on a baking tray at 350 for about 10 to 12 minutes or so. And what you're looking for is just like a nice golden brown on the inside. Zoom in on that. Can you see it? Yeah, great. So you're gonna give them a nice little chop. Ideally, you want them a quarter of a hazelnut as you cut them. Cool. We're gonna put them and mix them in with the corn. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna season this salad. We're gonna add some salt to the corn, cherry tomatoes, and hazelnuts. I'm gonna add some salt on top of the nectarines to make sure they're seasoned as well. The reason why I don't wanna toss everything together is it'll get a little too mixed up and the nectarines can get a little bruised. That's why I'm tossing these a little separate. It's just gonna be really simple. Salt, lemon, and olive oil. For lemon, I'm gonna use the lemon zest and the juice. This is a microplane, and I just like to move the microplane over the lemon, and you just want the yellow zest. You don't want any of the bitter white pith. And you add that to there, and that gets a lot of that lemon flavor. Cut the lemon in half, squeeze through to get some nice juice. I'm gonna squeeze a little lemon juice and dress these guys too. The tomato, or no, these aren't tomatoes, on the nectarines. And then some olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And then a little bit on these guys as well. Give it a nice little tossy toss. Taste. So then, you just kind of plate it on top. To finish, just a bunch of herbs. So today I'm using basil, which is like also, you know, basil and corn and nectarines, like it's just perfect. So I'm just gonna tear some leaves on top. I have some purple basil that I'll be using. Obviously, use, you know, whatever basil you have, but I just love the color and it tastes a little bit different. And lastly, a little bit of mint. I love mint in salad. It just gives it that refreshing, minty flavor, which is just so delicious, you know? Especially like during the summer. And that's it. So this is our summer nectarine, corn, and tomato salad. It is perfect for really any summer day. During the height of tomato season and stone fruit season, feel free to mix up the tomato situation or the stone fruit. I really love it with that raw, crispy, kind of crunchy corn and the hazelnuts and just the simple lemon olive oil and the herbs on top. It's really delicious. So this is the first of our stone fruit and tomato salads. So for our next tomato and stone fruit salad, we're gonna be making a tomato, peach, and burrata salad with prosciutto and avocado. It took me way too long to like figure that out, and the salad can really be mixed with whatever you guys have on hand. So take that for what it's worth. All right, so the whole idea of the salad is it's all about like textural contrast. So you're gonna have like the creaminess from the burrata and like the saltiness, the brightness from the prosciutto and the creamy fattiness from the avocado and the sweetness from the peach and the crunchiness from the pistachios and the crunch from the cucamelons and the herbs and the acidity from the tomatoes, and all those things blend together with lemon and olive oil. It's a really good salad. So let's get started. I'm first going to take a peach. This is a very ripe peach. It is a Cal Red from Frog Hollow Farm. I don't know why you need to know that, but now you do. I'm gonna just slice a few wedges of it off. And try it, of course, because when you try the stone fruit, you can know how to season it. So this salad is called a composed salad, and it's basically just a salad that you kind of layer and put on a plate. It's unlike a green salad or lettuce salad, which you like toss in a bowl with dressing and stuff like that. So you kind of want to just plate it however you want to do it. It doesn't really matter, you know? I think generally when I make things, I do less is more. This is the idea. I think with this salad, there's a lot of things on it. And it's just because with summer, there's so many great, fantastic ingredients that go really well with each other. So it's fun just to put them all together. Grab some tomatoes. Let's do this one too. These you want to wedge in a similar way that we wedge the peach. So I'm just take out the core. This is a blue gold tomato. They're really great, and they're called a bicolor tomato because they're like red on the inside. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it now? Do you see it now? Okay. And again, you're just gonna kind of place these around, fun little way. You don't wanna like crowd the plate. Like less is more in terms of like the amount of ingredients. And you wanna plate things like not in a symmetrical fashion. Just let it do its thing, you know? Let's do burrata. Burrata is really fantastic. It is kind of it's a fresh cheese, and it's like very soft curd in the middle on the outside. It's a little firmer curds that hold together. This is the Stefano brand of burrata. It's really delicious. It's probably my favorite. So I open it up and I just take with a spoon, like just little blobs of it around. And this just adds that creaminess and a little fat to the dish. And it's just so delicious. Next is avocado. Let's do this one. You never know. It's like, you kind of roll the dice when you cut open an avocado, you know? It could be like the best thing ever. It could be the worst thing ever. It's not bad, not bad. So with avocados, I like to make little scoops. And so I'll use a spoon and actually I'm gonna use this guy. Something I changed because this spoon is a little thinner, and so it allows me to kind of like reach in and like follow the curvature of the avocado to get these nice little scoops. So we're gonna put those all around. And the avocado with the cheese is super nice. It's a nice contrast. All right, so after the avocado, let's do a little prosciutto. You can also use coppa, you can use another cured meat. It just adds a nice like saltiness to it. And it goes really well with tomatoes and the prosciutto, or sorry, the tomatoes and the peach, whatever stone fruit that you want. It's really delicious. Kind of like to just drape it over a few things. You don't want a lot. I know there's a lot of ingredients on this, but you want to be just not cautious with just how much you put on the actual plate because you don't want to overwhelm it. Then we'll do these little cucamelons. Okay, let's just take a second. These are cucamelons. I grew these this last year, and they were really fun to grow in the garden. They kind of start slow. They're a vining plant. They're a gherkin, so they're related to cucumbers. But like, look, they're like little watermelons for hamsters. I'll cut one open. They taste kind of tart taste like a lemony cucumber, but not like a lemon cucumber because that's a variety of cucumber, but like a tart cucumber, and they're really delicious. So obviously you don't have to use these. You can use like a few slices of cucumber just to end this. This is the crunchiness and juiciness that for the salad. We'll do some pistachios next. And these are just roasted pistachios. If you buy them raw, roast them in the oven, similar to any other nuts, like 350 on a just dry sheet tray or pan. That means no oil. Roast them till they get a little color and they're crunchy, just so that they brings their flavors out. And then this just gets a little sprinkle all over. And this gets you the crunchiness, the fattiness. So the last thing we're do is we're gonna add a bunch of the herbs. I have a bunch of types of basil. I have some edible flowers from the garden. Use what you have. I think basil is a fantastic one to use and widely available. Mint is another great one. I'm just putting other herbs and flowers on here because I have them, but use what you have and is available to you. I think going to the farmer's market and finding fun herbs and different kinds of basils is really fun to do. Growing basil is really fun. I'm growing 6 varieties of basil this year, and they really do taste different and they look different, and it's fun to eat them in just all different kinds of salads. The thing with basil though is you don't really want to eat the flowers too much. Like I do like the look of them, but they can kind of be bitter sometimes. Often when a plant bolts, which means starts to flower, it'll start to taste bitter. So if you grow like herbs and stuff, keep that in mind. I'm putting some borage on. Borage is a plant. It grows these blue flowers, which are really cool. And they taste like cucumber, and they're really delicious, and they look really cool. The plant, the leaves itself are a little spiky, but you can use them in salads as well. And then a little fennel. I have some wild fennel that I'm growing, and it started to flower. So the fennel is nice because it adds that nice like licoricey taste to it, and it's really delicious. I think that's about it. So now we just sprinkle salt over it, just to make sure you get everything covered, and then we squeeze some lemon. It's really simple, just lemon and olive oil. You just want to make sure you get over the stone fruit and the tomatoes, and the avocado is important because you don't want it to discolor. Great, and a little olive oil. I probably should have added the herbs and stuff after I dressed it, but it's okay. And that's it. Here's our summer salad of tomatoes, peach, burrata with avocado and prosciutto.